Hello students, moving on to few more examples on calculating the quantity index numbers. Example 20, given summation Q0 P0 is 400 and summation Q1 P0 is 500. Construct a suitable index. We see that summation Q0 P0 and summation Q1 P0 is given. Here the base price is taken as weights. So we use here the last various quantity index number to calculate. So since summation Q0 P0 and summation Q1 P0 are given, we use last period quantity index number. The formula is given by summation Q1 P0 divided by summation Q0 P0 into 100. We have both of the values given in the question. We just substituted and we get 500 divided by 400 into 100, that is 125. Next example, given summation Q1 P0 is 265 and summation P1 Q1 is 260. Construct a suitable index number. We again observe here that the correct price is used as the weights. So Parshas quantity index number is used here to calculate. Summation Q1 P1 divided by summation Q0 P1 into 100. That is 260 divided by 265 into 100, that is 98.11. The next example, if Lasperius quantity index number is 170.4 and Parshas quantity index number is 171.6, find Dorbish-Bowley's and Fisher quantity index number. Now, Lasperius quantity index number as well as Parshas quantity index number is given, and Dorbish-Bowley is dependent on both of these values. So the formula is nothing but half into Lasperius quantity index number plus Parshas quantity index number. That is half into 170.4 plus 171.6, that is 171. That is Dorbish-Bowley's quantity index number. Next we also have to find the Fisher's quantity index number, that is root under Lasperius quantity index number into Parshas quantity index number. That is root under 170.4 into 171.6, which is 170.99. The other example, if Parshas quantity index number is 320.4 and Dorbish-Bowley's quantity index number is 342.2, then find Lasperius quantity index number. Now Dorbish-Bowley's quantity index number formula is half into Lasperius quantity index number plus Parshas quantity index number. We have the values for the Parshas quantity index number as well as Dorbish-Bowley's. We substituted, and the unknown here is Lasperius quantity index number. So that will be 644.4 equals Lasperius quantity index number plus 320.4, which is nothing but 324. So Lasperius quantity index number is 324. The next example is, if Lasperius quantity index number is 236 and Fisher's quantity index number is 238, find Parshas quantity index number. We know that the Fisher's quantity index number is given by root under Lasperius quantity index number into Parshas quantity index number. Fisher's quantity index number is 238. Lasperius quantity number is 236. We have to find the Parshas quantity index number. So we square on the both sides. So the square root on the right hand side is vanished. We get 238 the whole square equals 236 into the unknown q to the power v, Parshas quantity index number. So when we subtract, we get 240.02. The third type of index number is value index number. The first one was price index number, which we discussed. The second one was quantity index number. These were the examples we discussed on quantity index number. The third index number is value index number. Value index numbers are the index numbers of the total money value of transaction taking place over a period of time. Value is the product of price and quantity. An unweighted value index number is the ratio of sum of the values of a given period expressed as percentage of sum of the values of the base period. So the formula to calculate the value index number, there is only one formula, that is V01 is summation V1 divided by summation V0 into 100. So V here is nothing but the value of the product, and value of the product is nothing but price into quantity. So this formula again reduces to summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q0 into 100. we have to compute the value index number for the year 2010 on the basis of 2008 from the following data. The items, the table is missing in the question, but the table here in the question, it is only given the price and quantity of the base year 2008 and 2010 and the values. So on the solution, when we go, we have the items A, B, C, D. We have the base year price value, that is P0, and base year quantities. Then we have P1, that is current year price of the items, and Q1, that is quantity of the current years. We need P0 Q0 and P1 Q1. We'll calculate it. We'll multiply P0 Q0 for each of the items and P1 Q1 for each of the items. Then we'll find summation P0 Q0 and summation P1 Q1. So value index number is nothing but summation V1 divided by summation V0 into 100, which is nothing but summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q0 into 100. We have the values calculated for summation P1 Q1 as well as summation P0 Q0. We substituted 404 divided by 356 into 100. So the value index number is 113.48. So it means that always for the base year, whether the price index, quantity or the value is always taken as 100. So it means that the total money value of transaction taking place in 2010 increased by 13.48% as compared to 2008. In the base year, the value is taken as 100, and in the current year the value we got is 113.48. So compared to the base year, the total money value of transaction has increased by 13.48%. So this is the value index number. We finished discussing on the types of index number. Next we'll move on for a few more topics on this unit in the next video. Thank you.